Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ktechgai and I am so happy to be back again with another video. Um, if you are new here, over here on this channel, we do Photoshop tutorials that will help you to become that outstanding graphic designer that you have always dreamed to be. So I have a special assignment today to teach you how you can conform any image onto any background in Photoshop. So let me show you what we are going to do today. Right, so you may have noticed in real-time graphic design project how some images are inserted in shapes like this, whether it's a circle, rectangle, rounded rectangle, or any regular shape you may think of. But that is easy to do, and I'll be sure to do a video on how to insert images into shapes. But our assignment today is to be able to do this at the end of the video, this one, to conform a picture that is not full size, or just because your client asks you to do, you must have the image conformed to the background like this. Because if you do not go for that option or that choice, your image is going to be hanging in your design, and that can be a real mess and can be an eyesore. So let's get into how you can do this all by yourself in your next project. So launch your Photoshop like this, and you can pick any dimensions that you want and get yourself right here onto your canvas like I have done. And I'll be sure to bring an image, and I will also be sure to do a video on how to insert an image onto your canvas or onto your document area. So let's go this up a bit. Okay, so if we were to leave this image where it is, if we were to station our image right here, there would be no need for this this lesson at all. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's bring this image onto a project I have done here. So if we were to station the image here like this, there would be no need for our subject today. Okay, or what if you need to station the image here? You realize that the image is hanging, and that does not give us the best look. Okay, so then we have to conform the image onto the background. So let's go back to how we can do that. And this particular technique that we are going to use will require you to have a fair knowledge about layer mask. And I promise you I'm going to do an in-depth tutorial on how to use the layer mask, okay? So that you have to see that video so that you better understand what we are going to do today. Okay, so one way you can do this is by creating a whole new layer like this on top of the image, and go for your brush tool. Good, but the key is that you have to make sure the edges of your brush are soft. Your brush has got soft edges, and if you do not have that right now, just hit this down arrow, and good. When you crank the hardness up to 100, you see that the rough the soft edges are gone. Okay, you do the vice versa or the opposite, and you have the soft edges. And if you're not satisfied with the size, you can crank it up here. Okay, so let's crank it up a bit like this. That's too big for me. Okay, this is just fine. Good. And once you have this done, that's another thing you need to take note of. You have to make sure that your foreground and your background are either white or black. Okay, and as of right now, if you do not have if you do not have the white and black, just punch the D key, and it will bring it to default foreground black and background white. Okay, and anytime you are going to go for this technique or method, you have to make sure that your foreground is the same color as the background which you are going to conform the image to. Okay, that means that we have to switch this the foreground and the background so that the foreground becomes white. Okay, because our canvas is white. All right, and all you need to do is go ahead and brush over the area that you need to be hidden. Okay, and if we have done this, let's go back to the real project and apply the same technique. Okay, so you stand over here. This is our image layer. Create new layer, and that will sit right on top of it. Okay, and once you have that, make sure that the foreground is the same color as the background. Okay, so you just double click this and use the picker tool to pick the color and begin to brush over. Okay, but see the mess it creates for us. That is why we need to go for the layer mask technique. Alright, so let's go back and learn that in a bit and come back and do justice to this one. So here we are. So if we want to change the canvas or the background into any other solid shape, then we can go right here and do a different color like this blue and make sure it sits under the image. Okay, and that would mean that we have to set our foreground. Okay, now our foreground is the same color as the background. Okay, that means we can go right ahead and create a new layer like this, soft brushes, and then begin to brush over. Okay, that means this one should sit on top of good and brush over. Alright, okay, but what if our background is a gradient background or a mixture of what I showed you in the beginning of the video? That could be a problem, and that is when we need the layer mask magic. Okay, so here's what we are going to do now. With the layer mask, you just have to sit right on top of the image layer and click the layer mask, this one. Good. And once the layer mask is applied to your image layer, be sure to note that this area, this is the layer mask thumbnail. This thumbnail is white, and because it is white, we need our foreground to be black. That means we have to switch it up. Okay, so we switch it up like this, and because it is black, it is now going to hide. It's going to hide the part we need to be hidden. Okay, and that's quite simple. So you realize that we don't pretty much need any more layers, just one layer. We apply the layer mask and effect onto it and brush the thumbnail with the direct opposite color of the thumbnail. Okay, that means if you have black here, you have to have white at the foreground. Okay, so let's send this technique right back here. Okay, so let's delete this layer that messed everything up for us. Apply the layer mask. Okay, and now because it is white, the layer mask thumbnail is white, the foreground must be black. That is the key, and that's the only way we can get the part we don't want hidden. So you can go right ahead and brush over what we need hidden and place it right here. Good. The essence of this video is that when the image is not full size, where from the head to toe is showing, okay, and you have to set it in your project, it is going to look hanging. Okay, so in order for us to avoid the hanging, this is the best way we can go about. It's quite simple. I'm sure you may have noticed this in some project and wondered how you can get it done. So this video has helped you today to be able to conform your image onto the background. And if you go by the layer mask method, you have to be sure that you can conform it onto, once you change the background, it will do just fine on it. Okay, so let me give you a preview of that. So let's group this. Good. And let's go for a gradient background. Okay, so go for the purple. Good. And it does just fine on it. Let's change it up. Go for greens, something like this, or that, or this. I guess this one looks just fine. Okay, so once you go by the layer mask method and you conform the image onto one background, whether you go for solid first or gradient or any other kind of background you may have, you don't have to do anything to it. If there's a change of mind that you want to change your background, okay, I bet that this video was helpful, and if you have not subscribed yet onto my channel, I highly recommend that you do so. Make sure to comment and share this video with the next person as soon as possible or as early as possible. Whatever you need to do to make the next person see this video and pick up a thing or two to help them in their next graphic design project, be sure to do it. And I think we're done for today. See you in the next one. Thank you.